Hi, this is Wesley, and I would like to welcome you to the Underground Geek Shack. This is Season 2, Episode 2. Hey, do you want to know something? Even a ninja is afraid to talk to people. So, today, we're talking about Shinobi Undercover. This manga is from Ippon Takeshi and Santa Mitarashi, who, if you don't know, they are the ones who wrote Candy Flurry, or who created Candy Flurry. But as of the making of this recording for this podcast episode, there are 76 chapters. So right now, I'm only going to talk to you about the first 3 chapters, because I'm going to do this in arcs. So the interesting thing is that with this, in this world for Shinobi Undercover, it's like, so ninjas exist, and this is in a modern day setting. And it's cool because we get to see this teenager, and he's basically a ninja. And so he goes in and he's tasked with taking out all these people in this mansion and, securing this other dude, and he just has to talk to him for like a couple minutes until backup arrives, and he is scared to death to just hold one single conversation with him. And so the backup arrives and everything, and his operator is like, yo, why are you so scared to talk to people? And he's like, look, I'm good when it comes to like solo missions and stealth. I'm not good when it comes to socializing. And so his operator is like, hey, yo, we got some new information for you. We're gonna send you to your next, to your next mission, I guess. And then, so this character's his name is Yodaka. And so Yodaka is like, all right, so the people who he has to, protect is his target, so he's like, okay, who's the target? Who's the assignment? And so turns out that the assignment is to protect this girl named Aoi. And so he has to be the bodyguard for her. And the interesting thing about this is that you have to figure, like, since he's a ninja and like he, so it's in a school setting, obviously. So they go into the school and everything. So since he can't use his actual name, he has to go by a different name. And so every other person that's in the school who is also a ninja has to go by a different name. And so, so like Yodaka is like, they're like, okay, what's my role to play? And they're like, oh, well, you're just the loner. You're just the dude that sits quietly in the back, and, nobody has to talk to you or anything, since that's not really your thing. And you get this girl named Hibari, and Hibari is supposed to be like is supposed to play the role of Aoi's best friend, right? And then you have this other dude named Umineko, who is supposed to be eventually, he's the guy that's good at sports, he's the jock, and so he's supposed to get to the point where he becomes her boyfriend. And so Aoi decides not to go by the script that anyone has laid out, and so she decides, I'm gonna ditch the opening ceremony and everything. And so her and Yodaka just walk around the school. And so as they're walking around the school, they get, so a teacher comes and, is like, hey, you two aren't supposed to be here. Y'all need to head back to the opening ceremony or whatever. And then turns out that the teacher is actually an enemy. And so Yodaka has to sit there and take out the teacher without Aoi even noticing, which is just like, these fight scenes are insane. And he tells Aoi, he's like, hey, keep walking down that direction. I'll be with you in a minute. I gotta talk to the teacher or whatever. And so the teacher goes to like poison him, and so because he has a pen, and so he sticks Yodaka, and then Yodaka's like, poison doesn't affect me. And then like just proceeds to like chop off the teacher's head, but it's like it's like that intense, like the bloodlust. And so like the teacher's like, did I die? And like the teacher's still standing there with his head attached, and he's like, did I die? And he's like, oh my gosh, this kid is no joke, I can sense his bloodlust. And him and the teacher proceed to sit there and fight each other. And then the teacher's like, you know what, just make sure nobody else sees you. You good. And then he gets a call from from his operator, and his operator's like, dude, are you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, just had to take out one of the teachers. Apparently one of the teachers was an enemy. And he's like, the op's like, did the assignment see you? And then he's like, what? No, I sent her down the other direction. And then like, it's like, when you go back to like the ceremony like that's happening, and you see Hibari and Umineko, and they're like, yo, is everything good? And they're like, oh yeah, Yodaka's already on it, he's already protecting the assignment and everything. And they're like, oh good, he's here, he's the famous ninja that we've heard about. And I'm like, excuse me, y'all heard of him? But it's interesting because like you get to see, so one, Aoi's a klutz. Aoi is a straight up klutz. And it's just like, it's like, come on, man. Like, to the point where, like, I'll even read you the description of Shinobi Undercover real quickly. A nervous ninja and a total klutz spark an unlikely friendship in a school full of danger. Enough said. I already told you she's a klutz. We got the klutz in the title, in the description. I'm just letting you know. And it's just interesting because like throughout these first 3 chapters, right, we get introduced to, you know, our basically our squad, which is squad 9. And so we get introduced to, you know, Umineko, Hibari, and Yodaka, and apparently there's like some other people who join in later on. But it's interesting to see the people, the enemies that they have to go up against, like from a teacher to a bully who just an upperclassman and decides, oh, you're not gonna eat with Aoi, I'm gonna eat lunch with her or whatever, and proceeds to just get bodied by Yodaka. And it's just weird because like he'll use everyday items, and then like you'll hear the operator in his ear, and then the operator is just like, dude, what happened? And he was like, oh, I just used a piece of chewing gum to do this certain like this gesture, and oh, I also took off his belt to sit there and like, you know, to drop his pants. And then it's like, what? And like the operator's like, you did that in one motion? He was like, what? It was very simple. And then it's like, no, it's not for humans. You ninjas are crazy. And it's just cool because like in like, I think in like one of the chapters, they end up going to a karaoke place, right? And so they go to a karaoke place, and so Yodaka, Hibari, and Umineko all have to sit here and protect Aoi. And while they're going, they have to be on guard because, you know, anyone could be after Aoi without, you know, with them not noticing. And so anyone can come and take her. So they get to the karaoke place, and then come to find out the janitorial staff is like, they're all like, hey, yo, we gonna kidnap her and everything. And so they show up, and Squad 9's like, hey, yo, we got some bad news. Apparently the janitorial staff is after Aoi. We gotta take him out. And so literally, while like in one part, Umineko is literally talking to Aoi, while you just see in the background, you see Yodaka sit there, just beat the crap out of someone, throw him out the window, and then Aoi looks at him, and he just like leans up against the window like nothing happened. And you're like, what? And then you got Hibari sitting there outside the building that Yodaka just threw the dude out of. She's literally hanging off the thing, and then off the side of the building, grabs him, throws him into another room, proceeds to follow him in, and then just bodies him. And then the rest of them are just like, oh yeah, you're not gonna get away with this. And then the thing is that with Hibari is just like straight up like she's just a brawler. She's just like, yo, come and fight me. Like, yo, she's a glutton for punishment. She's like, yo, you wanna fight? Let's fight. Let's duke it out. I'll throw these hands. And it's just like, what the heck is happening? And it's just like, oh my gosh, man. And it's just interesting because like even with the operator is trying to help Yodaka and like getting him out of his like shell of being like, hey, yo, I'm too afraid to talk to people, to, hey, you kind of have to interact with the assignment if you're gonna, become friends with her, because now Aoi wants to become friends with Yodaka, and it's just like, okay, but then it's like, now that she wants to become friends with him, it's like, is there gonna be a potential romance thing that's going on here? Are we building up to something here? Like, what's going on? And then it's like, oh, well, there's something very important about Aoi. And it's like, what's so important about her that we have to keep all these freaking people away from her? So, hey, if you want to go ahead and enjoy Shinobi Undercover, I'm reading it on the Shonen Jump app. So yeah, even if you guys want to, if you guys enjoy me talking about it in arcs, like how I'm doing with the first one, let me know, and I'll continue to do more episodes like this. Just building on top of that, and then hopefully we'll get caught up like that. But I'm enjoying Shinobi Undercover so far. Yeah, but thank you guys, and I hope you've enjoyed your visit to the Underground Geek Shack. Take care.